Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of JWalk's Poorly Lit Garage. Dio, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I haven't got that garage light yet. I swear I'm buying it right now and it will be here for next episode. That is a promise. But anyways, welcome back guys. If you clicked on this video, you obviously already read the title and saw the thumbnail. So I'm not gonna tease you guys too long. I'm just gonna turn this camera around and show you the two-stroke that we bought to build on the channel. Here she is, you ready? Nah, I'm just playing guys. Not that one either. Here we go. Boom. Look at this little gem we got ourselves here. Man, does she look good or what? All right, so what do we have ourselves here? Obviously, you guys know it's a CR250. It is a 2002 model, so it's the part of the last generation. The 2002 through the 2007 were all the same exact bike, other than the 05 to 07 had a little bit of a different cylinder and made slightly more power, but you know what? Not worried about power. If I want power, I'm just gonna go get on that bad boy. This thing is totally meant to be a fun bike. Obviously, it's a two-stroke. I'm most likely not gonna be racing it at any pro nationals or anything, so I'm not too worried about speed. Obviously, I have the 450 for that. This is just gonna be a super fun bike. It's the people's champ when it comes to bike. Everyone's been wanting me to build one of these, and of course, I've been dying to build one myself because, I've never ridden a 252 stroke before, never in my life. I rode a 125 for like a year when I was like 12, and then obviously I got right onto the 250Fs and then right onto the 450s. So I've never had an experience on a 252 stroke, so it should be pretty interesting. This thing is looking really awesome. Don't let the looks fool you though, it is for sure a nugget. And we'll talk about that just in a second here. So my initial plan was to have the first video riding this thing in its current form. I wanted to roll it right out of the dude's garage that I bought it from and take it straight to the track and ride it, but I don't think that's safe for my health, and we'll go take a look at why. So she's definitely very clean. It looks like it was well taken care of. I mean, the frame is nice and shiny, the motor's nice and shiny. There's no oil or anything anywhere. I mean, there's new parts, like the sprocket looks pretty nice. Still got some meat on those teeth. Tires are pretty shot, not too bad. Looks like maybe there was some street riding done there, but overall not too bad. The bars, like you can tell it was a relatively knowledgeable dude riding it. The bars are in a nice spot there, and the levers are all good and everything. So at first glance, it looks super awesome. And honestly, since I'm gonna be building this thing, completely rebuilding it from the frame up, I didn't really care what condition it was in, but just the fact that it was really nice was a huge bonus. And everything's here and it runs. So that was all I was looking for really. But well, let's start to take a look at some of the sketchy stuff. So the first thing I do every time I get on a bike is pull the clutch in, and as you can see, that clutch cable has seen better days. The pull is not super buttery. I absolutely lubed the heck out of this thing to get it how it is right now, and it still feels harder than my 450, so that's no bueno. You guys may or may not have noticed, but we have some spoke skins on this girl. Some nice white spoke skins, so those are super cool. And as I was taking the front ones off, I noticed that pretty much every single spoke on here is finger tight, roughly. Some are about to fall out, and actually, if we take a look at the back here, we will see that one is actually gone. So right off the bat, I didn't feel super stoked on riding this thing immediately, which is why I'm not riding it in this video. We're just doing a walk around of the bike. And if something as simple as that was wrong, I couldn't imagine what else might be going on with this thing. So definitely for my health, I didn't feel like I should take this thing out and ride it immediately. Also, the first time I started it up and rode it around my apartment complex, I turned the bars and the throttle stuck wide open because the throttle cable is not routed correctly. And when you turn it, it binds on that right there, which sticks it wide open. It's a little known mod. Us pros like to stick our throttles wide open so that every time we turn, it just wide open the whole time. If you guys didn't know that, now you know. And then there's just a bunch of other little things here and there that I don't really feel comfortable riding it until I get it replaced and start building this thing, which we're gonna talk about now. So, what are we doing with this thing? Well, my initial plans were to find a bike that was running and in somewhat decent condition, like this one. And my plan was to just do a quick build on it, replace the parts that desperately needed changing, things that weren't safe to ride with, and just minor little upgrades that would take like, you know, no time at all and no involvement really to switch out, just to make the bike better and more fun to ride. Because like I said, I've never ridden a 252 stroke before, and I really wanted to just get some riding content on this thing, because I know you guys have been begging me to do like 252 stroke versus 254 stroke, 252 stroke versus 454 stroke, all sorts of stuff like that. And I really wanted to start making that for you guys, but I figured if I'm gonna spend the time to build this thing, I might as well do it right. It's not gonna be like some crazy Cameron Namela, Adam Paganelli, tear down, full like sandblast every single part and make it look like a brand new bike again. Not Not that I don't love those kind of builds, because I do, and mad respect to those guys, but I do not have the patience for that or the time. I still want to get riding this thing relatively quickly, so it's not going to be something crazy like that. It's going to be super functional. I'm going to be doing upgrades that make sense for me just to make it more fun. We're going to have SGB Racing do the suspension. They're going to do all sorts of really awesome coatings on it, obviously do Race Tech gold valves in it. So a huge thank you to SGB Racing and Race Tech. They're really going to be hooking it up on the suspension. Wiseco already sent a full, it's called a Garage Buddy complete rebuild kit for the two-stroke. So it's a complete top end and bottom end rebuild kit in one box, which is super sick. So big thank you to Wiseco. I still think I'm going to leave the engine in it and just ride it the way it is until something lets loose, or until I feel that it desperately needs to be changed, and then we'll go ahead and install that. I'm actually going to recruit a well-known YouTuber to help me do that, so you guys will be really stoked to see that. Obviously, I'm just a racer, I'm not a mechanic, and I don't really feel comfortable opening my motor up and doing a bottom end, so we're gonna recruit some help for that one. You guys will be stoked on it though, don't worry. So I've actually been wanting to get a 252 stroke for a really long time, pretty much ever since I did the 125 build a while ago, because I've had this vision of doing a JWalk two-stroke shootout day at one of the tracks down here in Florida. So I think it would be really sick to go out to like 74 Family Fun Park, Tampa MX, maybe PAX tracks, or one of the more like popular tracks that a lot of people go to. Have my really sick built 252 stroke, invite all my subscribers and just anyone in Florida to come out for a two-stroke only ride day. We'll do some really cool competitions like biggest whip, best goon ride, I don't know, maybe we'll do like a coolest two-stroke of the day competition or something like that. But I thought that would be really cool, and I really wanted to have an awesome bike to do it. But obviously the 125 is gone because I was just way too big for that thing, and it was not appreciating me beating the snot out of it. So 125 is gone, but we have a new two-stroke now, so don't worry guys. So moving on to the graphics setup, that's the really cool part that I'm actually gonna have a lot of fun with. If you guys follow me on Instagram over at JeffWalker84, you'll probably already know that I want your guys' help to help me design the kit for this thing. I think it would be really cool to have all your guys' input and like feel like you're really building this bike with me. So I want to hear what you guys want to see out of this bike design wise. You don't have to fully design a kit or anything if you don't want to, but definitely leave a comment down below telling me what you want to see, whether it's one of the retro throwback bikes, a replica of some other iconic Honda, whether it's, you know, motorsports or whatever. It could be car racing, anything. It could just be one of your favorite old Hondas, like one of the TLD bikes or 1110 mod bikes or the CR22 bikes. Or it could just be something completely new and different that no one has ever seen before. I really want this thing to be a bike that like people will look back on in like 10 years and be like, dang dude, you remember how sick JWalk's 250 was? That thing was nasty. And not like, I want people to be building replicas of this bike for years to come. So for sure, shoot me your ideas. If you guys do want to like design a full kit, actually, I made an email that you can send it to. It's just JeffWalkerMX@yahoo.com. So if you guys are like a graphic designer and you want to design some kits for it, definitely shoot the email over there. I will see them. I've gotten like probably 12 already. Once I get enough of them, I'll go through and pick out maybe like my top 3 or 5 favorite, and then let you guys help me decide which one I should go with. I'm not like for sure 100% gonna use one of the ones that are submitted, but I definitely want to take inspiration from all you guys so that you guys can feel like you're really being a part of this build. So I think that would be really cool and something different that I feel like no one's really done before. So that should be really cool. As far as engine mods go, I'm gonna be keeping it relatively stock. Boyson is gonna be hooking it up with a bunch of their cooling products, as well as some other engine goodies. Recluse is gonna be helping out with some clutch stuff, just little things here and there, but I still want it to be as reliable as possible. I want it to be a bike that I can just, anytime I wanna ride it, it starts up first kick and I can just hammer it and it'll be fine for as long as I want it to be. I wanna take this thing out and do some GNCCs with it. That's huge down here in Florida. People love doing their woods riding down here, and I've never really gotten into it because all my bikes have had like race suspension and race motors and everything, so they haven't really been cut out for the woods. I tried one and it was awful on one of my 450s a couple years ago, and it was like the worst thing I've ever done in my life. My gas tank was too small, suspension was super stiff, it was just not enjoyable. I want to get an oversized tank for this thing eventually, take it out and do some GNCCs or hair scrambles. Just make it a sick bike, man, just something that I love to ride. It'll just be old reliable. Like I said, I don't really care if it's super fast because that's why I've got this 450 here. If I want some power, I'm just gonna hop on this bad boy. Hopefully you guys are really stoked on it. I want to hear your guys' input, and I want you guys to feel like you're really involved with this build, so make your voice heard. I want to know what you guys want to see. Drop them down in the comments. Obviously it has the Restyle kit on it right now. That's just how it came. I didn't actually put that on, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, whether I want to go with like the old style kit with just the updated front end or the Restyle kit. So like I said, I want to know what you guys want to see, so drop it down in the comments, as well as your graphic submissions. Just any ideas you have, any ideas for like cool events or races or whatever you you guys want to see, I want to know, because I want this to be a community build bike. Of course, I have my own ideas, and ultimately I want it to be a bike that I fall in love with too. But like I said, I want you guys to be super involved. But I think that pretty much covers the basics. You guys can expect to see build videos over the next couple of weeks because I'm super excited to get riding this thing, and parts are starting to show up here and there. So first order of business is obviously just tearing it all down, getting the suspension shipped out, really cleaning everything up and taking note of what needs to be changed and upgraded. And then once that's all taken care of, just slowly putting it all back together with all the new pieces that come, getting some sick graphics on this thing, and then we're just gonna start shredding it. Hopefully you guys are really stoked. Obviously, if you can't tell, I'm ecstatic about this thing. I wish it was rideable right now because I really want to make some videos on it, but I think in the long run this will be better because the result will be much, much better. I think that checks all the boxes that I wanted to hit in this video. If there's anything else you guys want to know, drop it down in the comments, let me know. Hopefully you guys are really stoked on this and you're excited to see how this thing turns out. I have some ideas, so definitely stay tuned. Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification bell so you know when these next build videos come out. And we're gonna be doing some giveaways during this build too, so definitely stay tuned. Keep your eyes out for the next video where we start tearing this thing down. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.